Words are useful for their purpose, but they are no substitute for brains.
All right, here we go.
I have to say, well done, Ray. Well done. Well played, my adversary. Well played.
Phoenix isn't gay, but if he was, he'd pick Fremo.
Oh yeah, he'd be living down there with you in the bunker, man. Woo!
Once you go free, you always do the Z.
Like one day of not going to Duncan, and you could get a controller, a new Xbox, possibly even a cord.
And now, the two guys that took 2 years to fix their audio problems.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. But guess what? We're back. Welcome to BG.
So are the audio problems.
And so are the audio problems. Welcome to BGFG, episode 349. I'm your host, Chris Phoenix, and joining me after a long sabbatical is Mr. Free Mo Z. How are you doing, sir?
Doing fantastic. We'll just go ahead and dispel all the rumors now. No, I was not sick. No, I was not in hiding. What else? What were some of the other rumors?
You were dead.
Dead. Yeah, that's probably closest to the truth. But no, just had to move the bunker, and it took a while to get the infrastructure in place. But we finally have high-speed internet out here. So
You had to get like dog sled and a bunch of heavy equipment and all sorts of shit to get that working, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, when I first told them I wanted to run some fiber to my house, and they kind of looked at me like they didn't know what that meant, I knew I was in trouble.
No, what y'all mean? Fiber.
Well, we got some burlap.
You want some of that? I got plenty. How about loom? I got a bunch of loom. I could drop off some in your yard.
Once this guy spun some coconut fibers into a rope.
That worked out pretty good.
But no. So we're finally back. It's been much too long.
Yes, it is. I'm super happy to have you back. It's been a while. Been running the ship by myself, and it's absolutely awful.
Yeah. No. It's been fine.
Yeah, but
Absolutely fine.
it's still glad to have you back. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of news this week, a lot of announcements, a lot of weird shit that's going to absolutely work perfect for us with you back because, well, just because. Let's get into this week's news.
BGFG News. You heard it here third.
So Apple fans, and I know Fremo loves this the best, Apple fans.
Yeah, I see some things don't change, do they?
Why, you can't hear any of the music?
No, we're opening with the worst news first again.
Oh, come on. That's bullshit. Already you're going to start on me. Apple made some announcements that are exciting for us Apple people. But, well, whatever. I don't care if Windows boy. You have to admit that these Apple products that they dropped are kind of exciting. Somewhat.
Yeah. I mean, let's put a notch on our
Oh, God. Here we go.
overpriced laptop. Sure.
So they did a lot of openings. Like they talked about the iPod mini in different colors, which was like, yay, who the hell cares? Then they did Apple Music voice plan for $5 a month, which was complete garbage. Even as an Apple fan, I'm like, what the fuck is that? I don't want to use Siri all throughout my house. You and I have talked at length about how having microphones on in your house is just a general bad idea.
Yeah.
It's okay to use Siri on your phone once in a while if you want to. But for the most part, no, you shouldn't have this shit. They talked about the new operating system, which again, as you and I could speak about even with Windows 11, it's just new. Of course, it's the best operating system you ever made. It's fucking new. It better be better than the last one.
Exactly. Hey, we're going to release a new operating system, and it's probably about as good as iOS 8, maybe 9.
Yeah, it's just not going to fly. They have to do that. And let's not forget about a wonderful Apple thing, which I'll give you on this one, is the $20 polishing cloth. Like, that was actually an announcement. Even I have to go, what the fuck is wrong with you? That is just not good. at all. But the real story was their Phase 1 silicon. So they released the M1 chips in the Mac Mini, which I have here for the production stuff, and MacBook Air with the M1 chip. And the M1 chip is very fast. And how they did it was they took a little motherboard and they actually put the chip that you would use for a GPU, the RAM chips that you would use, and they put the CPU all on the same little breadboard. So that makes it very efficient, very cool. It runs very well. And I think the coolest thing is that initial release was just a test. Because again, Apple's doing everything for the first time. So when they released that first set of M1, it was really just a test to see how the consumers are going to take it, gets out to the wild. Because like Fremo and I have told you guys before, you can throw something out there as a test, but it's really just a test. They need to see, they can't do everything in the control space. You have to put it out there sometimes and see what's going to happen. You never know different computer configurations. But
I don't care how well you test until you put it in the end user hand. You're not going to really know.
No, you'll have no idea. Anything could happen. Different configurations. I mean, look at Windows alone. Those poor bastards, because they keep such long legacy devices. Windows 11 barely works on anything right now, which is hilarious. It's decent. I've had it at work. It's not too bad. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. But there is a lot of problems on the back end in the consumer's hands. A lot of people are we've had 2 or 3 computers came in. People are trying to upgrade to 11. Didn't like it, want to go back. You can't. You have to reinstall everything again. Wipe the drive, reinstall 10. But even more so, there's like all sorts of little things, like you have to have a Microsoft account to log into Windows 11, which, again, I think that's a problem. Mac, you can say the same thing with Mac. You got to have an iCloud account. Well, you do, but you don't necessarily have to have it to use the computer. Microsoft won't even let you into the system until you create an account. But the true story was the MacBooks they released. They're calling it Phase 1. And Apple fanboys like myself have been waiting for this. They released a 14 and a 16-inch model. The MagSafe magnetic, you can shake your head all you want. The MagSafe magnetic power connectors back again. There's no touch bar, which you made fun of, Free. You made fun of that stupid touch bar, and I did too. There's no touch bar anymore. They have an SD card reader. They have an HDMI port again. So it's back to being a usable product. Again,
I was actually glad to see that they put the magnetic power connection back on there. That was smart. They should never have done away with it.
No, because how many times do we go through people's computers that have a busted out port because they tripped over it, or they dumped it, or they put it on its side? The magnetic one is it's far superior. But what's really interesting is the 2 chipsets that they released. They released an M1 Pro and an M1 Max. And you have to agree, Free, that it's pretty insane. The Pro features 16 cores, and the Max features 32 cores.
Yeah, that's and this is what Apple does. Apple pushes everyone else forward, and that's what they've done with this.
Agreed.
And we joke around all the time about how I hate Apple. I don't necessarily hate Apple. I think they're phenomenal consumer products. I just, I personally don't like the fact that once you're in their universe, you have to play by all their rules. So that's just my own personal problem. That has nothing to do with the quality of their products. But
even as a fanboy, I have to agree with you, because look at what happened with their with all the tragedy with Fortnite and with their App Store. And I can tell you from personal experience, even if you want to move money from Apple Pay like to your normal account or back and forth, they just upped that. It's now like 14% or something like that they take out of my transfer. That's ridiculous.
That's
it is. But these chips, they did a benchmark and they compared it to a 3080. And at first, a couple of the people compared it to a 3080 discrete graphics card in a stand-up desktop computer, which you really can't do. This is a mobile processor. When they compared it, it was right on par with a 3080 mobile. So I've seen those chips out in the wild in a computer, like an Asus computer, a Dell G5 had one. Those are insanely nice. Fast, boy, they're fast. But the chassis is super thick, and man, when you crank that thing, that fan goes insane. That thing like lifts off the desk. It's got so much power.
Well, that's what I'm dealing with right here with mine. I've got the Lenovo P52, and
you love your Lenovo's.
Oh, this thing's a beast, though, man.
They are really good.
I mean, touchscreen, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, and the 3080 mobile processor, they're ranking right up there, and they don't even have really fans in these Apple computers. They're really dissipating heat very well. And what a lot of people said, like me, I was like, well, this is really on par with everything else that's out there, especially for gaming. But when you switch to something like a Shadow of a Tomb Raider and do a benchmark on that, the M1 chips just fail. They do. I'll be the first one to admit it. They fail, and they become the bottom of the list. And that's because they're designed for crunching, like video editing and audio editing and picture editing. I get it, but you guys have to remember that this is phase 1. They haven't even tried to make a gaming PC. Right now, they're saying that they have no interest in it. And I think that if they did turn around free and decided to get into the gaming market, now phase 2, if they decide to get into the gaming market, they're going to kill it. All they need is a AAA game to come out that's native for the M1. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if they decide to go towards that, call it a niche, if you will, of gaming PCs or laptops, they'll make an excellent product. It'll be 5 times more expensive than anything else you can get, but it'll be an excellent product. Yeah,
and let me tell you, it's going to be, Fremo's not lying, it's going to be quite expensive. Right now they have the 14-inch starts at $2,000 and tops out at $6,000.
Yeah.
And that $6,000 gets you a 10-core CPU, 32-core GPU, and 64 gigs of RAM. Impressive, but it's $6,000. That's a lot of money.
I'll stick with my measly 48 gig of RAM and my Xeon processors.
Yeah, right. I know. I got a Ryzen 7 and a Radeon 7, and it's doing just fine with 3 monitors and doing the show. I agree, but it is a beautiful product. The 16-inch is their real go-to. That's the one that's got the M1 Max in it, and that's going to start at $2,500 and max out at $6,000 again. And it pretty much has the same stats. There's a lot of back-end stuff that it adds, better speakers, things like that. But still, you're looking at $6,000. That's a lot of freaking money, man, for a laptop. Now, if you're the type of guy that does a lot of editing and stuff on the go, you take pictures, professional videographer, perfect. Invest this. This is a tax write-off. Just invest in it and do it. You'll be all right. But I think where the real conversation comes in is phase 2, which will be the iMac Pro, the Mac Pro, and the Mac Mini Pro. And they're already talking about doubling all those numbers.
And something else that they need to do is put a port on your Mac Pro that allows you to connect it to your electric vehicle to get some extra miles on your vehicle. Because at that price, it needs to help with everything.
Hey, you laugh, but you know that they're trying to work on a car right now. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that thing's going to have a Mac Mini in the trunk or some shit. And I've installed
5 miles to make it. Plug up the Mac.
It's so ironic because remember Ed Special used to be on the show?
Yeah.
We installed a Mac Mini in his car so it's not out of the realm of possibility to have this.
And an Xbox.
We did do that. He did the Xbox, I did the Mac. Man, he cut up. It really looked good. I don't even know if he still has that car. I'm not even sure. But I haven't talked to him in ages. There was another announcement this week, I don't know if you caught it. Yeah, I don't know if you caught that. One of our favorite companies of all time.
Well, I saw it. I just didn't know if you made it past the Apple news. You tend to get bogged down in that sometimes.
I did. You laugh. You're absolutely right, though, because the longest part of my show notes was the Mac stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, no. And then I cut it in half because I was like, this is too much information. I can't put this out there.
That's okay, folks. I'm back. You will not be Mac to death from now on.
And that's probably true because if I looked back at the different show notes, I probably did a lot of Apple news.
A little bit.
But Facebook, our favorite friend of social media, have changed their name, Fremo.
Oh no, this is just
changed their name to Meta.
Yeah, I guess it fits. That's so meta.
So this is this is just one of those things that
Let's take the stupidest phrase that's come out in the last 20 years and just run with it and change our company name. And that's so meta. Nobody even knows what that means. It just sounds cool when you say it.
But it's so fucking creepy, Free. It is so creepy. I read a lot of this stuff, like after I get done with the Mac stuff. I read a lot of this meta stuff because I'm like, okay, before we tear into another company like Facebook, like we do, I need to come correct and get it all. But man, listen to what this dude says. Zuckerberg says, and I quote, a feeling of meta is going to be described as a feeling of presence, like you're right there with another person or in another place. Mm-hmm. Okay, I can see that. I would love to we've talked about it before, having a VR headset and being able to tour the Louvre or a historic building. I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. You know, for the people that can't get like overseas or anything like that or travel, you can take these tours. Brilliant. But he also went on to say, in the metaverse, you'll be able to do almost anything you can imagine. Get together with friends and family, work, learn, shop, create, as well as completely new experiences that don't really fit how we think about computers and phones today. In this future, you'll be able to teleport instantly as a hologram to be at your office without a commute, at a concert with friends, or in your parents' living room to catch up with them. This will open up more opportunities no matter where you live. You'll be able to spend more time on what matters to you, cut down time on traffic, and reduce carbon footprint.
It's such a shame you can't see what finger I'm holding up.
Wait a minute. So we'll all be interconnected and not have to go anywhere and experience things in real time with each other. Oh, what? This sounds familiar to me. The Matrix.
Yeah. It does sound very much like the Matrix. He yada about how it'll be built.
I'm out. I didn't join Facebook. I'm not joining the metaverse.
There's no fucking way. He even talked about how important. He even talked about how important cryptocurrencies and NFTs were to this business model. So I'm assuming he's going to create those two for the metaverse and be in there. You know, they currently own Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, Workplace, Portal, Novi, and now they just killed off their brand of Oculus, and they're going to change it over to MetaQuest. You know, this sounds like a lot like a Matrix, and it feels like it's also a cross between the Oasis and Ready Player One and the Surrogates movie with Bruce Willis. You people need to go watch this shit. If you haven't watched it, go watch this shit because you don't want this to happen. This is a bad fucking idea in so many ways. It's bad enough now when you have people falling, stepping out into the streets, falling in holes, twisting their ankles, breaking their legs because they have their face in their phone. I get a guy that I work with every single time I see him. He is walking around the store, even if he's carrying product, with his face in his phone.
Right.
This is a problem. I'm sure you see that at work all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have probably, I would say, on average, 3 or 4 incidents a quarter revolved around people not paying attention to what they're doing. They're on their phone.
It's bullshit, man. I have to yell at my own family members sometimes. I'm like, look, just let it go, okay? Just look up. You're missing what we're driving by. You're missing certain scenes on TV that doesn't. I'm listening. Yeah, but you're not seeing. There's a lot of life that's not audio. It's video. It's visual, and you're missing out on that because your fucking face is in the phone. You dumb shit. It's awful. And we warned you. We fucking warned you, people.
Yep.
We told you, stay off of social media, use it for just the bare minimums, getting news, touching base with friends, send a Fremo something, Fremo send a Phoenix something. Facebook, we realized you never even went on. You just did it vicariously through others. I went on and went, this is a shit show, got hacked twice, just hatred and nastiness everywhere. I'm like, I don't need that shit. And people talk about Twitter the same way. I don't see that with Twitter. The only problem I have with Twitter is that if you even hypothetically click on a link that says something like, new wrestler caught in weird circumstance or something, and I watch pro wrestling, so I click on it, and it turns out to be, some chick's website that had an interaction with him at a bar. Next thing you know, I'm getting her updates forever.
Right.
That's my biggest bitch. I don't see a lot of the negativity because, again, it's a social media platform that you can have that negativity. You can have a difference of opinion and remove it. Facebook is just completely fucking toxic. Just completely. I don't see that much hatred in my Twitter feeds, and these other apps, Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok, I just don't see the allure. I don't. I don't.
Literally have never been on any of them and have no desire to be.
I've got a couple of friends that are on TikTok all the time, and they send me videos, and there's a couple of funny ones, like the IKEA guy who's a comedian is hilarious. I'll send you a link to that so you can watch just the clips free. Brilliant. He
started on TikTok.
Dude, he says shit like he's like,
get me started on TikTok.
Lady comes up to the counter and goes, I'm sorry.
Chinese mind control.
Can you help me? Or says something like that, and he goes, look, lady, I'm 1 week into my 2-week notice. Do you think I give a shit what you think about this company? and if you've ever worked in retail, that's exactly how you feel all the time. I'm going to tell I'm not going to shop here again. Thank you. And I'm going to tell my friends, you want me to tell them for you? Give me your phone. I'll tell them. I don't need your shit. But we told you that this sort of social media shit's going to happen, and now it's going to get worse. And those that are on Facebook are going to get launched into this meta thing, and they're going to think it's the best thing since sliced bread. He's already dumped the prices of Oculus. Now he's changing the brand name over to something else. This is going to be bad, people. You're going to see grandma. You're going to see your parents. You're going to see all sorts of people with fucking headsets on just sitting at home like in surrogates. Go watch those 2 fucking movies. Everybody's seen Matrix. But go watch Ready Player One. And you'll see the oasis that he's trying to create. And just look at surrogates. That is something you don't want to happen. You know what else we fucking told you about? Does anybody that watches the show for a long period of time remember the nightmare fuel of Boston Dynamics dog?
Yes.
Okay, so
and now they got freaking parkour robots that aren't tethered anymore.
Yes. And I get it. So Boston Dynamics did release the dogs, and they released them to a lot of municipalities, so that like police and park rangers and stuff. And I agree with that. What's better than to have a robotic dog patrol a woods area, a national park, to look for fires? California could definitely use that shit, man. You were out there fighting those fires for a while in your sabbatical, and it's very much something that could be used. So they called it Spot and they sold it. The only deal was that part of your, which I don't understand how this works, but part of your contract to purchase one of these or several of these was that you cannot weaponize it. Right. Which, again, if you weaponize Spot, how the hell are you going to go pick it up? It's going to shoot you. So that one was kind of weird, but that's what they said. But that didn't stop Ghost Robotics, who basically took that same type of idea and built their own dog or Spot device. And
they straight up said, you want a gun on it? You got it.
Yeah. This was released to the military at their conventions. They took the same concept and they basically call it a SPUR. It's Special Purpose Unmanned Rifle.
Yeah.
Let's just all chew on that for a second. Special Purpose Unmanned Rifle. Okay? So you have somebody remote controlling it. You don't even know who. And then let's just hope. And again, Fremo and I will tell you, anything can be hacked. Anything. If you're good enough and you know how to get in, you can hack it. There has to be an override code for it. You can get in backdoor that way. There's a lot of questions I have here. This fucking thing has got night vision, and it's got a 30 times optical zoom.
Yeah.
What would you compare that to, Free? You own guns and shoot guns.
30 times optical zoom. That would bring a target from a mile away to within a football field.
We're talking sniper capabilities, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just not good. And the company Ghost Robotics has got several more of these fuckers in the pipeline. That's not good. That's no good. We're going to have a problem. They're going to be patrolling streets before we know it.
Well, hopefully, since they're a dog, you can still distract them by throwing a stick.
Wouldn't that be great? There's going to be some sort of video with somebody doing that. There is. But, I mean, seriously, it's a scary thought, because if you send somebody out to like a Black Lives Matter protest where they're protesting at a city hall or something, peaceful protest outside of a city hall, and you're going to send one of these things in, you just guarantee somebody's going to get shot. What?
I was just trying to wrap my head around. You said peaceful protest and Black Lives Matters in the same sentence.
Well, for the most part, and let's just say any peaceful protest, because we can say the same thing about any sort of.
There haven't been peaceful protests in more than a year in this country, regardless of what organization brought it together.
That's true. That is true. Now you're going to send Spot, or I should say Spur, out there with a machine gun on it. What if somebody has a water pistol that they filled with, piss, and they want to shoot it? They pull it out. The operator, we already have enough problems with accidental shootings by police officers. Now you're going to give it to a robot that just doesn't care. They see a weapon, they're going to shoot. This is nothing but a problem. Nothing but a fucking problem. And it's bad. I mean, do you think that there's any positive out of this?
I mean, yeah, if you're North Korea.
What? How does that even... What do you mean? Wait a minute. If
you're North Korea, this is a great product.
Okay.
Think all the money. Just think all the money you can save on your oversized military now.
That's yeah. Yeah, but then what are the people going to do? Because that's like their livelihood in a lot of ways, which is also sad.
Probably the same thing they do with everybody else they don't want up there.
Oh, all right. Let's close out the news segment with some good news. You know who boldly went?
You wanted me back.
I do want you back. You know who boldly went? The Shatner.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
It was awesome.
90-something years old. And
yeah, 90 years old, and he went into space. Captain Kirk himself. I think that's great. I think that's so awesome. And he was, of course, moved by it. I mean, that's on my bucket list, though. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, to see the Earth from inner or outer atmosphere. I don't even like flying. What makes me think that I'm going to... I put it on the bucket list, but, I mean, I don't even like flying. Going up in a rocket. I don't know if that's for me, but yeah. I would love to see the Earth from outside in. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, you'll be able to, man. Just go to the metaverse.
Oh, Freemo hits it again. Well done, Free. Well done.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, let's get into our music segment this week. And this week I have a person, so to speak, from Nashville, Tennessee. She describes herself as a 17-year-old just trying to get her shit together. It's not our usual heavy rock stuff, but I just like the song. Her name's GAYLE. That's what she goes by, and the name of the song is abcdefu. And because Freemo's back, I brought the music back, because since you've been gone, Free, we have multiple takedown notices. We were suspended for 30 days from YouTube because I questioned. Oh yeah, I questioned them, which was probably something I shouldn't do, but I did anyway.
How much of the song can you play consecutively before you have to chop it up so that you don't get the copyright stuff?
You cannot play anything more than 15 seconds, 30 seconds at most, if it's got instrumental and not words. And I've done my own music. I've done Harris Heller's music, which is royalty free, and he calls it Stream Beats. And they have pulled me down multiple times. I even read a paragraph. Well, right when you took your sabbatical, I read I even said it. I said, I'm reading a paragraph from the CDC website front page. And I read it, and they pulled us down. And then twice after that, they pulled me down for music. And when I did Harris Heller's music, just to see if they would do it, they sure enough pulled me down. And I argued, I said, if you can just point out the copyright infringement, because this is somebody else's music that allows me to play it for free. and then they banned me for 30 days from posting anything. Didn't even answer me, just banned me.
Well, I'll just cough every 15 seconds to break up.
No, don't cough because it's a good song, and I don't give a shit what they do at this point. They can say whatever they want. I'll take it out on the YouTube permanent link, but right now, if people are watching live, then they're going to hear the music, and I don't give a shit. So here's Gayle.
You know I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I know you are. I have a Modelo for the break this time around. Looking forward to that. Yeah, have you had a Modelo?
Oh, yeah.
What a great beer.
It really is. I like the Negro, too.
I haven't had that yet. I'm not a dark beer person. I'm more of a lager.
Yeah, but it's really not. It's not as heavy as you might think.
I'll try it. I will definitely try it. So here's Gayle, and we'll catch you on the other side for some stick-style news and a lot more fun.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Oh, I love that track. It's a good song. I thought it was apropos for the big FU, as you well know.
That fits with a lot of our stories today.
Yes, it does. Yeah, and I just sucked down like half a pint. This is going to be an interesting second half, my friend.
Yeah, well, I decided to cave.
Oh, did you? What'd you grab? Oh, good old Miller Lite. Love it. Oh, no. Do you like the aluminum cans? I think they taste different.
It does. It's got a slightly different taste, but you get 16 ounces, so you don't have to get up as much.
That's a fact right there, my friend. That's a fact. All right, let's get into the stick style with the worst. Even while you were gone, I kept the worst intro for a segment ever.
Gaming.
Yep, that is awful. So as we've been doing, the GPU shortage is the first thing we come up with. And, well, you still can't get one. I haven't even heard any whispers about it in the retail chains. Nothing.
About what?
About GPU shortages for consoles and video cards. Haven't heard shit. I can tell you that even the PC makers are starting to run dry, like Dell, and you're starting to see a lot more 6-week turn times for an order. They're not coming out as quickly. I have seen a few. There has been a few like Xbox Series S available on retail shelves here and there, and I think it's kind of funny. They don't even really announce it. It's just suddenly there's like 5 or 6. And they're not the X model. They're the S model. And quickly, speaking of the X model, did you happen to see the mini fridge they're releasing?
No.
So they're releasing an Xbox Series X mini fridge that's big enough to give you the proportion. It's big enough to fit a Series X into it.
Okay.
So it's a good size. It's going to light up with the logo. The logo lights up. It's all black. It's got a USB charging port on the front, so you can charge devices as well. It's pretty good. $100. They pre-released it over on Target, and it was gone in 38 seconds. Nationwide.
Does it have a built-in cooling pad on top for your Xbox?
No, that's a great idea, though.
Yeah. See, they should have brought me in on this.
I do say that the Xbox Series X
could have improved that thing like that.
The Series X that I have, that vent that they have at the top, because I mean, I don't know about you, but you gotta lay that, you gotta put it straight up and down. That's the way it's designed. Laying it sideways, it looks more like a foot locker if you lay it sideways. But I did have it laid sideways for a little bit, and the amount of heat that comes out of that thing is impressive. I mean, it keeps my hot cup of coffee warm for a longer period of time. I mean, it does its job. Now, the PlayStation 5 that I have downstairs, which we'll talk about in a second, that one I stand...
So do you have the coffee cup holder? You push the little button and it comes out?
I see what you did there. No. I told some of the young kids at work about that, though, Free. And they were like, no, sir. I'm like, yeah. No, sir. So we had an old computer come in, and I hit the button. And I was like, see? Coffee holder. Really? I'm like, no, it's not a coffee holder, you idiot. It's a CD player. They don't even know that. They don't write cursive. They can't read cursive. It's like a different language to them. No idea what a CD player is. No idea what a DVD player is. No idea to fix any of them. No idea how to eject a CD. Now, I'm the first one to say it's a dying or dead technology. But come on, man. Come on, help me out here.
Yeah. The sad thing is that's just the beginning of stuff that they don't have a clue on.
No. And there's so
that's like the what's the word I'm looking for? It's anyway that it's okay that they don't know that stuff because it really doesn't hurt anything.
No,
but you take that total lack of anything prior to 2000, and you extend it into other areas of the world and life, and they have the exact same lack of knowledge, and it's just wholly depressing
and caring. I have to say caring. And one thing that Fremont, I'll tell you, and we can speak about it with technology, is that you need to remember what the previous technology was, or you're going to end up with IRQ lists again and SCSI ports and shit like that because you're going to think it's a great technology. You're going to think it's something better. And it's just simply not. But I digress. Anyway, the GPU shortage, I'm still standing by the fact that I still think there's going to be a big drop before Christmas for everything. Video cards, PlayStations, and Xboxes. I really do, Free. I see. That's why I love having you back. You don't think so?
I don't see it happening, man. I don't see it happening.
But if you're a retailer, if you're a big box store, wouldn't you want to hold on to something until you can actually fire it up, get it out there? You know you're going to sell them at Christmas time. Mad rush, generating huge amounts of sales.
Do you really think if those things have been sitting in a distribution center waiting for Walmart to stick them on the shelf, you're telling me nobody would have said something?
I agree. I don't think they're there. I think they're someplace else, or they're still under the main distribution hubs. Oh,
sitting in a cargo container out in the Pacific.
Okay, that's absolutely possible. Sorry, wrong one. That's absolutely true. That really is.
So all we really need to do is figure out which container on which ship, get a couple guys together, and go liberate them.
Yes, we could liberate them and make a boatload of money. And we're doing it before the scalpers. You know, let me get your take on that since you're just coming back before we move on. What is your take on the whole situation with bots? I think the questions are, would you use one? Or would you use one? And your reasoning why?
Well, considering we just released a bot at work to be first level help desk support.
No. How's it working? Is it working? Yeah. So would you use a bot to purchase a GPU or a PlayStation or an Xbox?
No. I mean, I get why people do, but no, I personally would not.
I told our listeners the same thing. I said, I guarantee, I said, I'll speak for Fremo on this one. He would not use one because it's, number one, the thrill of the hunt was always the fun part. You know, being at that store and going, holy shit, they got one here. Quickly calling your bank. Do I have enough money on my credit card?
Right.
No, ma'am, you can't have this one. It's mine. But did you buy it yet? No, but I'm gonna. So no bots and the thrill of the hunt. I think that I truly feel there's going to be a drop before the holidays. I can't see how there wouldn't be.
Well, I mean, there could be, and I hope that there is, but for a lot of people, it's not going to make a bit of difference now that gas is, doing what it's doing.
Oh my God, $3.50 a gallon. That's insane. And if they don't drop a big drop within the month of, I would even say November, December, the latest, first half of December. If they don't do a drop, then there is seriously a real, I think you would agree, there's a real fucking problem. Like, real problem. Like, this is no joke anymore, because we talk about the gaming systems and the GPUs, but the chip shortage as itself, as we talked about on the show before, the chip shortage itself is cars, fridges, microwave.
yeah.
I mean, it's everywhere.
It's everything. And printers, network printers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it extends to everything and stuff that you wouldn't even think about. It
my
really does.
Telzon's not working, because so many companies use Telzons now. My Telzon isn't working. Well, yeah, you can't get another replacement because you can't get the chips.
Yeah.
I don't think the common person, and this is where our sheeple need to step up and talk to, or our dependents need to talk to the sheep.
Control boards for access control for doors and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a control board and it goes down and you need to replace it to get the door to work right, or you just have to put a door stop there so it doesn't close and lock people out. You know?
Yeah.
What are you doing right now? You're putting a door stop down because you can't get a control board to replace it.
Nope. You're not. It's just not going to happen. Sony's actually stepping up a little bit, though. They're offering, you can go to, they created a new page on their PlayStation website where you can go and you can register for an opportunity, Fremo.
An opportunity to buy one?
Yeah.
Do people still buy Sony?
Oh, come on. Okay, I just had this conversation with a client that we had. They make 2 laptops still, and they make, I want to say, one kind of TV with like 3 different versions of it. That's pretty much it, really. I mean, they really have stepped out. And when I talked about this on the show before, I mentioned that you and I, when we first met, were actually really brand loyal to Sony.
Yeah.
Remember that time? We used to talk about the XBR TVs, the DVD. Yeah.
I don't want to say how many years ago, but that was back when the show was 30ish, and we were a long way from even being worried about rebranding it for 40s.
Yeah.
Speaking of, are we going to rebrand again next year?
Yes, we are. We are absolutely going to rebrand next year.
Oh, God.
And I'm thinking the working title right now is halfway there. Either that or On the Downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all fucking downhill from here.
We peaked.
I like that. That one. Oh, that one is a winner. That is a winner right there. We've peaked. Put that in your little memory, because I've had a lot of whiskey during the break. So put that in your cap, because that's the name right there. That's gonna be. So when you guys are all looking for BGFG, which we love the logo, and now we're gonna get a new logo, but we're gonna keep the sheep. It is gonna be We've Peaked. That's fucking brilliant, my friend. So if you can get on the Sony website, you can register your email. You can get an opportunity to win a PlayStation 5. I have a PlayStation 5. It's pretty freaking awesome. We'll get into it after, because I got another piece that I want to share with you. But before that, if you can get your hands on a Sony PlayStation through this website deal, and you have the quote-unquote opportunity, it's going to seem a lot like you're getting a golden ticket for Wonka's factory, you know? And, speaking of golden tickets, the golden ticket itself, the concept alone, the being that lucky, is like being a Twitch influencer that makes huge money, right? So nobody's really known how much these people make. Dr. Disrespect was one of the biggest ones that hit really mainstream media first with his gimmick. And you and I have talked about that before. Brilliant gimmick.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as soon as you and I saw it, we're like, oh, that dude's going to make money, period.
Did we ever learn what actually happened to him?
Still nothing as to why he got bounced off of Twitch, but they did drop that the rumor was yearly, which we're going to get into, because they leaked, Twitch leaked, or I shouldn't say leaked. It was a hacker on October 6th that leaked documents. They took about 128 gigabytes of data, just pure information. They took things like no ban lists, things like that. The hacker said that they did it for the disruption to the service. Sounds more like a 20-something that didn't get enough followers and was stamping his feet and shit. But he got it and he dropped it on 4chan. But what was interesting about this was not only did you have the no ban list, which was like certain user accounts couldn't get banned, and I think a couple of them were legit. Like this particular person has Tourette's, so as comical as that disease in some ways, I'm not belittling the disease, but sometimes it's rather funny, Right. And if you think for a minute, I know several Tourette's people that actually get a kick out of it sometimes. Like they'll go to certain places because they can't control it, and they'll say it, and it's funny. So, but other Tourette's is serious, and I understand that. But the no ban list can have people that are on Tourette's. The no ban list can have people that maybe always have a child in the room or do things like child. You know how people are freaky about the child thing.
Right.
Like pictures of children or anything else like that. So these bans are prevented from doing that. But what I thought was interesting was the monthly payouts for some of these Twitch people. I had no idea. I knew they made money and I knew they could make a living at it. But from what you see, like right now, you see, if you watch Stick Style, you see the room downstairs, the Stick Style room. If you watch the video now, you'll see Fremo's room at his house in the background. And sometimes you'll see people's rooms that are dirty. Sometimes you'll see that are messy. Sometimes you see are clean. And most of the time you see stuff that is definitely pre-thought about. Like this is a specific room and open space that you use for broadcasting alone. I use a green screen when we're on BGFG. So I always thought that these people, because you and I would do an absolute professional production, a bigger desk, a better camera, shit like that. A lot of these people don't. And I get it. Twitch is supposed to be for gamers. You're just recording me watching a game or playing a game. And I get that.
Right.
But the amount of money that they make, dude, did you look at this list? You get a chance to look at this list in the show notes?
I didn't see the actual amounts, but
oh, you didn't? Oh, it's insane. So
hold on 1 second here. Okay, here we go.
So the top 10, or I should say the top 100, say, they're making hundreds of thousands a month. A fucking month. These are the top ones. And I'm talking about XQC. I'm talking about Tim the Tap Man. I'm talking about Dr. Disrespect before he left. Shroud. Well, Shroud's not on the platform anymore. Summit. These guys, and this is not even their sponsorship deals. Like Summit has some serious sponsorship money. A lot of these guys do, but I'd say Summit would be the biggest one. And this is twofold. Number one being that how the fuck
That's crazy. Some of these dudes are hitting 6 figures a month.
No. That's the yearly one, which is what I was going to get into. The yearly ones, like Tim the Tap Man, he's making like $3 million a year. That's a lot of money to sit. I mean, if you want to fucking pay me, tell you what, here's the deal. Everybody listen up. Fremo and I will do this for you, okay? We're going to do this for you. We're going to suffer and we're going to sacrifice by quitting our day jobs. For our BGF, shut up, Free. For our BGFG listeners, we're going to do the sacrifice of quitting our day jobs so that we can stay home and game on both. You know what, Free?
I'll break down and get a PlayStation as well.
Free, I'm going to speak for you.
I would do that. I would do that for our listeners.
I'll even take it a step further. You and I, for our listeners, for our fucking faithful listeners, will be more than happy to utilize all 3 platforms. We'll do Sony, we'll do Xbox, and we'll do PC gaming for you. For, wait for Free, 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's a lot of content, people. And that's not even talking about our podcast.
I'd commit to 12. I'd half the day.
Always taking another step for you. You're just always giving, man.
I know.
You
I would do it.
You give till it hurts. It's insane. We'll do this for our listeners for a small subscription fee of like, I don't know, $100 a month. I mean, what's it to you? It's your credit card. That's all. Just put it on your credit card.
Or your dad's credit card. Yeah.
And if you act now and you can give us the original name of our show, we'll knock it down to $50 a month. $50. That's one takeout meal that you got. One takeout meal during the week that you don't have to get.
Actually, if they get the original name right, I'll pay for their first 3 months.
Okay, that'll work too.
That's 3 months on free.
You're talking. That is well played, my friend. That is well played. So it's we will make that sacrifice for you, because if these people like Tim the Tap Man are pulling in $3 million a year, I want some of that cake. And the funny thing is that Stick Style's been doing okay. We don't have enough followers. So if you're listening to this show, please go over to Stick Style on Twitch or on YouTube and follow us. Because as Freemo gets back into the fold, there's going to be a lot more of that. And it's a fun time. We usually have a fun time, even if we're playing by ourselves. I've got a good amount of traction, but not even close to their numbers free. This is freaking insane. Like, they're not doing anything. We've had better conversations online. We've had better groups, like in the PGR days and shit like that, and some of the Halo times. We've had just as funny conversations as the Do or all these other people that are on there. I swear by that. But just the gaming itself, we're not going to quit our jobs tomorrow and become professional gamers. That we're not. But we're good enough to have a good time and fucking enjoy it. We don't absolutely suck. And we have good groups of people that we game with.
No, I mean, and this is straight up legit at different points in time, and this is going back a ways when we did have more time to game. We were both ranked within the top 500 worldwide in more than one game.
Yeah. So we're not slouches.
Yeah.
I said that to my kids one day, and they're like, what? Shut up.
Dude.
I'm like, yeah. PGR.
Fro resurrected a clan name from back in the day.
Touch the pee-pee?
Within the last 6 months, FFOP, yeah.
Oh.
And no doubt, because he came and asked me if they could use it for the newest Modern Warfare.
Oh, nice.
I said, sure, yeah, no problem, man. Throw it out there. So he got a group of guys together, and they resurrected that clan tag, and they got into a room, and someone said, this is what he told me. Someone said, FFOP, I'm not playing those guys, and left.
Oh, the most I ever got was on the BGFG one. I got, I heard of them. That's all I got ever. But man, that's awesome because they hated that.
It's been 10 years since we ran that tag. So we did something right.
Yeah, we wreaked havoc. It was great. I told I had a general manager of one of the stores was like 70 years old, and he was ranked in the top 20 of Madden football for the entire country. So we I know. So when I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, come on, man, that's bullshit. That should never happen. But sure enough, we had a gaming night one time, and he came in. He's like, oh, can I play? And we were all like, yeah, we don't want you to play. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, jump in. And he's like, oh, I'll give you the first 3 quarters. He gave some kid who was doing very well, is probably in the top 3 to win, gave him the first 3 quarters free, and then fucking destroyed him. Destroyed him. Beat him by like 4 touchdowns.
That's insane.
Yeah. This got on another level. So when a lot of people don't realize that, the big thing that we told people about FFOP was that we work as a team. We're not 5 lone wolves or 4 lone wolves or whatever that game requires. We actually work as a team. Okay, you do better at this, you go do that. You're a great sniper, you go up there. You know what I mean? We all just talked and conversed. It's not like, I got a guy down low. I don't need to know where you got killed because I know where you were at already.
Yeah.
That's what made it great.
Yeah, and we had, and it didn't matter what map you were on. If someone said Grandma's house, second story,
yeah,
everybody knew exactly where that was, where that shot came from.
Guaranteed you there was 2 snipers on that house already. I was entering the bottom. Yeah.
We had shorthand for every map, every location on the map, spawn points, you name it.
It worked out well. We had a good time. But a lot of these streamers are making big money. They're making $3 million, $2 million a year. I think that's a little much. And again, I get it. On one side, you have they're professional athletes because there's a lot of these guys that are on like the phase team and stuff that are legit legitimate practicing, not just playing, but like working on certain skill sets 4 or 5 hours a day at these clan houses.
I mean, here's the thing. Does that seem excessive? Yeah, but people are obviously willing to pay for it. So
yeah, they're selling out these little mini arenas. They're not like Staples Center, but they're good size arenas that they're selling out these games. You have major sponsors, like huge sponsors. Of course, Red Bull's there, Mountain Dew, stuff like that. But you also have other private sponsors that are pretty impressive. The thing that bothers me about this list is that there's not many women on this list. Now, my wife and I go on Twitch, usually in the morning. Sometimes we go on Twitch just to see what's popping. And a lot of times you'll have, for a while, there was the hot tub people, which was hilarious. You had girls in bikinis in hot tubs because it went around the rules of not being able to show too much skin because you're technically in a pool. So they just put a pop-up pool in their room and fill it with water, which I just want to know how the fuck they got it out of there. That must be awesome. But they would just sit there in bikinis and they would write on their forearms and stuff if you donated money. We watched one girl in one night free made about $2,500. Large-breasted, small bikini, sitting on a banana, and would bounce on the banana every 20 subscriptions. It was like stupid stuff. And again, that's a whole nother conversation we could have at another time about the pros and cons of that. But the bottom line that I'm making is that she's making money. And all of these people that are making this type of money, you see people like Pokimane. I don't watch her. I don't like her. But she's like 39 on this list. Why is she fucking 39? She has a shit ton of subscribers. And you're not paying her as much. This list is not subscribers. This list is about payouts.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt because she's always in a conversation with somebody. Azimuroth is the same thing, and this is the same way. They're not making as much money as guys. And you and I might be a lot of things, we make jokes and shit, but you and I are very much for equal opportunities and equal pay.
Absolutely. And there's no reason that they shouldn't get paid the exact same.
No way. No way. There's a lot of times.
If not more. I mean, they're
amen. Yeah. I could name like 3 girls at work. Women, I should say. I take that back. 3 women at work that should easily make, I'd say $3, $4, $5 an hour more than they're making now, just for their skill sets. And they won't because there's some guy that's going to take that job. And that's just the way the corporation works, and I hate it. And there's nothing I can do about it right now, though. Someday, yes, because I plan on doing that. But right now, no. And I just think it's shitty that she makes several $1 million less than anybody else.
Yeah.
Remember I was talking before about my PlayStation 5? When and if you ever come up again, the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller is another level. If you ever know anybody that has a PlayStation 5 free, I implore you just to take 5 seconds, go into the Astro game, and do the controller demo. Because what this controller is capable of, again, it depends on the games using it. What this controller is capable of is a whole nother level. I love my Elite controller for Xbox, but the Elite controller is awesome. The Elite Controller 2 is even better. But this DualSense controller from PlayStation is on another level. It's just that good, Free. And the PlayStation, when it came out, was hideously ugly. I mean, you look at it now, and I'm sure you agree that it is such an obnoxious shaped thing.
Yeah.
It's hideous. And where I said before earlier in the show that you have an Xbox and you stand it upright, I put mine sideways for a little bit, but then I put it upright and it was just better, and the airflow works a lot better. The PlayStation looks ugly standing up
Regardless.
or on the side. It looks hideous. But even when you put it on the side, you can't balance it right, and you have to have this little fucking gimmick behind it, and even that has to be, it doesn't lock in. It's just fucked. But the white really kills me. I'm not a white console type of guy, like ever. Like, it's just not something that's good, in my opinion. And the white PlayStation just broke my heart. I was like, I'll get one.
Has white ever been good?
No.
For consoles. Don't go taking that out of context now. Come on, people.
Oh, come on. You know I and everybody else will. and they're right. Which we'll get into. Oh, the rant that I fucking have for the end of the show. You wait.
Did you really just say, and they're white?
No, I said it. I said, and they're right.
Oh, okay.
So back to what I was saying with the color of the PlayStation 5. It's just ugly. So this company DBrand came out with these skins because you can pop off the side panels of the PlayStation 5, which I think is, again, a brilliant design. Everything about the PlayStation 5, from the controller to the user interface that they relaunched, which is, I would love for you to use it, because the only problem with it is that there's no themes to change the color, but it's brilliantly laid out. I would relate it more to like the original Xbox Blades. Remember the Blades interface? Mm-hmm. I would relate it more to that as of ease of use. It's brilliant. But you could pop off the plates, which I, again, think is a brilliant design. And DBrand made a set of black plates that you could buy. So you can actually make your PlayStation a black PlayStation, like all the other fucking PlayStations out. And they put little tiny symbols on it. Really well done. And they challenged on their website, Sony to sue them. And I thought that was brilliant too. And I'm like, okay, they did something in the design where you can't get in trouble for it. I'm like, great, kudos to you. Good on you. Well, Sony just recently released a cease and desist, which I think Sony did on purpose because it's right before Christmas. They were going to sell a shit ton of them. But they're not now because they're not allowed to sell them. I have mine, which is awesome. Great packaging, very well played. It's exactly the width and size and weight of the original plates. It's brilliant. It's just black. It's brilliant. It's beautiful. Let me put a picture up. Oh, I got the picture up. No, I don't. Here it is. So if you're watching on the YouTube channel, the picture's up of what a black PlayStation looks like. And there's a sticker that you can put down the center and you can get different colors and shit. But still, it's the black plates that are popular and hot. And I think that's so good. And the last story today, which I don't even care if you get upset. Actually, I don't know how you're going to feel about this. Alienware is about to release their 25th anniversary Aurora. Now, I don't want to. I believe you used to like Alienware.
Yeah, Alienware was all that and then some back before they got bought.
Right. Now, I'll tell you from dealing with them on a daily basis, legit, is that their previous, I want to say the R9 model, the casing was a great looking case, but had absolutely shitty ass airflow. The new case, which is just hideously ugly, the R11 and R12, is hideously ugly and has two fans in it, and it's awful. It's awful air distribution. Somehow, Fremo, they get it to work. I've had a lot of them through my work come by and testing them, and they work really, really, really well. I don't know how they do it. I'm not going to overclock that shit anytime soon, but it works really well. They're releasing a 25th anniversary version, which I believe is something that you and I can get behind. Because what they did was they took that same case design and they fixed the fucking airflow.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, right? They fixed the airflow. They gave it a glass side panel. They removed a lot of that Dell steel. I know you'll know it because you work in the same industry. When you open up a side of a Dell or inside a Dell, I don't care if it's a laptop or a desktop, for fucking decades, there was just a lot of aluminum.
Just extra. It's just there.
It doesn't. I mean, I get it. You made cages that open up and like it almost, when you open up the side of the case and you lay it down, it almost like blossoms so you can get at everything. And I get that, but that's a lot of aluminum in there.
Yeah.
They removed all of that free.
It's like, well, someone might possibly want to do this, or this inside this chassis. So let's just put this in there in case. Well, yeah, but if somebody's going to do that, then somebody else might want to do. I mean, they
just kept over engineering it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, sure, we can customize this thing 16 billion different ways now. Thanks.
But what you ended up doing was you broke it for us because let's say the PSU, the power supply cage that you built. That's great that it pops out. Well, unfortunately, the power supply that pops out, you can't replace that power supply. Because if you want to put a bigger power supply in order to get a bigger GPU in, you can't. Because the fucking cage that they built only fits a 650 power supply.
Right.
So you fucked yourself right out of that. Which I always found funny. But it's going to have a clear case. They took out all the aluminum from the inside. They have their standard Alienware cooling. And they added a boatload of RGB. And you know, people love RGB. Makes the shit go faster. It's like putting chrome on your car. That's going to add 5-10 horsepower.
Oh, absolutely.
Every time. So the Alienware case adds at least, let's see, clear side free. You get some fans, added fans. They all are RGB. The water cooler's RGB. I'm thinking that's going to add.
Snap off face plate.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking 50, 60 frames it's going to add.
Yeah, I was going to say at least a half a gigahertz to your processor.
The sad thing is, here's the sad thing, is that as much as people might be driving around laughing at us right now saying that shit, it's probably fucking true. Because taking out all that aluminum and adding 2 fans so making it a total of 4 fans in the chassis,
right,
will literally add a gigahertz of CPU speed and probably about 50 frames.
Yeah, just because of the heat dissipation you don't have to worry about now.
Yeah. Well, it's got RGB, baby. It's got RGB. That's what that sells. That's what that does.
That's a nice looking little rig, though.
Isn't it? It's just nice. Like, I can't say anything other than that's really nice. And the fact that they actually made it like a custom gaming rig, I think adds to their lore of 25 years ago. This was a company that started in Miami in a garage. Yeah. 25 years ago. And we got on them. What was it? Them, Falcon Northwest, and Voodoo.
Yeah.
Falcon Northwest is still around. And hey, I went to their site researching the show this week. They still make ugly PCs, but they're still blazingly fast. I still don't know how they get them that fast. Like, Falcon Northwest costs a shit ton of money, and they're ugly steel. I don't even know the word I'm looking for. Industrial.
Some dude sitting in a adult diaper with a cloak and a magic stick that he waves over the machine as they get ready to box it up and send it off. Man, there's no explanation for how those guys do what they do.
No, that thing is stupid fast. I've come across like maybe 3 Falcon Northwest in my lifetime, and the last 2, the first one was a brand new one, and I was just like, I really want to touch this. It's beautiful. The last 2 were literally 7 years old when I saw them, and they were still faster than today's PCs.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. And they're not used. I don't get it. They're using it. It's like you take 2 dudes, you give them the same parts, they both make the same car, and one guy's car is 50 miles an hour faster down the straightaway.
Doesn't make sense. What did you do?
Yeah.
So Voodoo, Alienware, and Falcon Northwest were pretty much the custom PC market at the. I would say mid 90s, mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
And Alienware.
Alienware was coming on the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had Falcon Northwest making this very industrial design, giant gray flat box. It didn't have all the bells and whistles, just flat, straight steel. You had Voodoo that was making these like custom colors that you could order them in the car colors. Like they were very much hooked up with Lamborghini where they would have these like Lamborghini editions and shit. And then you had Alienware, that their claim to fame was the fact that the power button was an alien head. They had this unique alien logo. Everything, their desktop and their themes when you bought the computer were all alien. It was very much alien centric. Their cases look like aliens. I mean, it was really cool. And I think that, granted, this one doesn't look like an alien or have moving parts on it like the old ALX case that had the moving. I don't know if you remember the ALX case. It was the Aurora that was very, very long. It looked like like a head from the Aliens movie with Sigourney Weaver. And there was an ALX version of it that would, on the top, it had vents. And as the computer got hotter, it would lift the vents. So it was it was a badass rig. I just lost one in a flood in my basement during the last power outage and storm, which broke my heart. It was under a foot of water. There's no hope for that at that point. Even the plastic would like get shitty. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I couldn't save it. But this one is really pretty. It doesn't have that alien look, but it has a unique enough look to call it alien. To call it an Alienware.
Yeah, it looks like something you'd find on an alien spaceship.
Yeah, I'll go with that. It's got this weird angle to it too, which I think adds to it. It's just got this. It's not 90 degree. I don't even want to say it's 90. It's It's not 90
It doesn't
degrees.
have any like solid corners. Everything's tilted, angled, rounded.
It flows well though. I don't want to say it's like a Ferrari. I'm just saying it's like the way a car lines flow, good, bad, or indifferent. They still flow. This PC case basically flows, which I think is really nice. All right, let's get into the last section today because I could talk to you friggin' forever, and I just want to vent about this as if we haven't vented about shit already.
Oh, I haven't even gotten started.
So for what it's worth is our freestyle segment, I guess you could say, where we pick a topic. Neither of us kind of know most of the time what each other's going to do. You can we put links in the show notes sometimes, but we just vamp on one topic. There's no notes. There's no bullet points. This is just our editorial, basically. And the one I want to bring up first, let me get over the sound effects and just go.
It's such a shame you can't see what finger I'm holding up.
Because Fox News, you can fuck all the way off. You did a fucking segment on Native Americans, and you had the balls to sit there and say that they have a history of alcoholism and government dependency. Are you fucking for real? Are you outside of your mind with all the other shit we got going on with cops and everything else under the sun? This is the shit you're going to bring up? We stole the fucking land from them to begin with. You can talk about Christopher Columbus all you want. He was fucking lost. He was not Spanish, okay? He got lost. He was trying to find a route around South America. He got fucking lost and landed here. And the Native Americans, he basically talked them out of everything. And if he didn't talk them out of them, he fucking killed them. And what we did as a government was we squashed them even more and put them on these little fucking villages or towns, and we called them reservations. In Fox News, you want to sit there and turn around and say they have a history of alcoholism and government dependency because we fucking stole their culture. We stole everything about who they were and what they were. We took it from them.
Who put them there? Who gave him the fire water to start with?
You guys
they didn't have it till we got here.
You guys are fucking douchebags, and you just fuck all the way off. Just fuck off. All right, Free. What do you got to vent about?
Oh no, I'm good.
Oh, you bastard! You didn't even want to fucking.
Oh, that's gonna give me some hate mail.
I figured you'd have my back on this a little bit. Where the hell did you go? Oh my God, he cut off his video. That bastard.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know, the video shut off. But if you're not going to add anything.
Seriously, what just happened?
I don't know. The video shut off, but I can still hear you. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, we pretty much...
We did them an injustice.
We screwed the Native American population. There's no doubt about it.
That's
anybody that wants to argue that, please, we'll get together and like sit down and discuss this. And I'm actually enough.
And when we say that, it doesn't mean we're going to punch you in the face, because I want to, but Freemo will stop me. But we want to have a discussion about this. If you want to have a discussion about this, hit us up.
Yeah, I actually could, if I wanted to, participate in the Cherokee Nation. I have enough proof, definitive. I have proof of that ancestry, so I could be getting my casino earnings if I wanted to. So it's not a topic that I take lightly. But yeah, we totally screwed the Native American culture in this country and have done nothing to help them redeem themselves in any shape, way, form, or fashion.
And I swear, the most that we've done is take people like you and I, that when it comes to Columbus Day, which just passed, we call it Indigenous Species Day or Indigenous People Day.
Yeah, I mean,
because that's the least we can fucking do.
Well, yeah, I mean, we literally have done nothing to at all. I mean,
it's pathetic. And search it up, people. Go on YouTube.
I mean, the only thing I guess I could say that as a country that we haven't done to the Native Americans that we could have done would have been total genocide. So I guess that would be a positive. We did not completely wipe them out.
Wipe them out, yeah.
But we literally have done nothing to help them redeem their culture or redeem their status as a nation or anything.
Yeah, it's sad the way we've treated them. And if I was a lawmaker, and look, no matter what we do, at this point in time, they're going to stay on their reservation because that's what they've known and that's what they understand. That's what their place is right now. Not to say that they're not leaving the reservation, but if you do your research, people, as we tell every single person that listens to the show, we implore you, we give you links in the show notes, but we implore you to do your research. Look at it. We're not lying. These people have suffered nonstop. And the alcoholism and the stuff that Fox News talks about is basically because what would you do if you were just constantly downtrodden? Constantly. You were set up in a small area. You can watch a police on YouTube. You can watch police trying to pull over somebody in a reservation on a highway that cuts through the reservation, tries to pull somebody off, and the local sheriff, I think it was a sheriff, or the local police, but I think it was a sheriff, comes out and just basically looks at the cops and goes, "Get the fuck out of here now."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Well, you can't. I can absolutely do that. You're on the reservation. This is Indian territory. Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
They didn't say Indian. That's disrespectful. He said whatever, Cherokee or whatever the hell. I don't remember. But it was so engaging because it was nice to see that happening. I agree with them 100%. Fuck you. You don't have any right to be on that reservation. You don't have any right to make an arrest on that reservation. The rest of this fucking country is ours anyway. Ugh, that shit gets me heated. It really does. Because they were the indigenous species here. And we got screwed. You know what I mean? You got anything else?
I mean, we did. Unfortunately, that's the nature of the way this world has worked since day one. Somebody's always subjugated somebody else.
I really hate that about humans.
But you think we could do a better job in our enlightened state, at least that we think that we're in an enlightened state at this point in our culture.
We're so not.
So you think we can do a better job, but no, we're not, man. We're a pig with makeup.
Oh, 100%, 100%, my friend, 100%.
You sit and I was talking with my wife the other day about we were watching some show. I don't remember what it was, but it was like a historical timepiece during the Dark Ages. She's like, I can't believe that people used to do that to each other. I was like, don't think we're any different now. I said, we just, it's
hide
not
it better.
yeah, it's just hidden better. I was like, don't think that the Clinton body count ain't a real thing. I mean, those that have keep taking.
Yep.
I saw an interesting clip the other day. I'd have to go back and figure out what it was on, but it was a Q&A at some college campus. I don't remember who the speaker was, but this person got up there and asked some questions, and he was from Haiti.
Oh, my gosh.
He straight up was like, yeah, I don't think anybody in this country understands how bad the Clintons screwed our entire country.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was like, oh, please don't ask that guy's name. Please don't ask that guy's name. And sure enough, he's like, oh, well, what's your name? You're from Haiti? And the guy, he smart enough not to have answered what his name was, but he's like, yeah, I'm from Haiti. I was there when all this went down, and I was just like, yeah, please don't ask that guy's name.
Because two things, and I just want to clarify for our listeners. Two things. The reason why that guy should never say his name is, number one, as soon as he does, he's targeted. Period.
Yeah.
He's just targeted. Number two, as soon as he says his name, because it's so hard for Americans to say or to understand or to read, they immediately think, oh, he's below us.
Yeah.
That's the way that the 1% does it. They literally think like that, and it's absolutely shitty. It's awful. It's absolutely friggin' awful. And I feel awful about it. That Haiti thing, they're just complete asshats. Not Haiti, but the Clintons and what they did down there. And if you think that shit
literally stole billions.
Look at the Epstein situation. Epstein obviously didn't kill himself in his jail cell. He was murdered. Okay? And if you watch the video, just look at the video. I don't give a fuck who you are. Watch the video of President Trump, former President Trump, and Jeffrey Epstein getting out of the elevator when he was probably like in his 30s or 40s. Do not tell me that he didn't just get laid upstairs in that hotel because of Jeffrey Epstein. Don't even fucking think about it. Because when you look at him and you see him, every dude has had that move. Every dude has had that feeling like you just knocked the boots with some hot chick that you should have never hooked up with. And you went out to have a beer or a coffee or a smoke or whatever it was. And you did the same bite my lip like, yeah, I'm the shit right here, man. Yeah, I can party. I can keep going. It's a guy thing. It's an animalistic instinct. And the fact that he came out of the elevator doing that with Jeffrey Epstein, who's known and was going to be on trial for child trafficking, come on, man.
And what's crazy is all these people that everybody wants to look up to, and look how great this person is, and look at what they've done, and da 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 da. It's all a deflection. It's a smokescreen, so you don't know who they really are.
Absolutely. And then
I'll go ahead and throw it out there. Bill Gates, monster.
Shady fuck. Oh my God. Did he do good things with his philanthropy? Yes, but it wasn't him. It was his wife.
Yeah.
See, you can't hide the shit that you actually did. It's the same thing with Biden. You didn't vote for Biden, you piece of shit. You voted against Trump. It didn't fucking matter. It could have been me or Fremo as the candidate, which would have been awful choices, let me tell you. Would have been fun for about 6 months. But then awful choices if you voted me or Fremo in. Because
I don't know, man. I really don't think I could screw it up as bad as it's going right now.
Because either one of us would have done, we would have automatically picked each other for the vice presidency. Period. That would have been an automatic. And then it would just be like, we would accept our roles. Like if I was president, or let me say, if you were president, you do A, B, and C that you had on your agenda, but as vice president, I knew what I could get away with, and I would do that shit. And you can guarantee, number one, Area 51, completely out there.
Yeah, but
the classified files completely
shortly after
that,
whoever was VP would be trying to figure out how to get rid of the president.
No. I'm saying if you and me were VP.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I would not. I would not try to fucking off you. No, I wouldn't. I'd completely be like, I'm VP, I'm speaking for Fremo. And I expect the same thing for you if you were VP and I was president. I'd be like, fuck yeah. Whatever
like in a malicious way, but like a funny spy versus spy, Mad Libs way.
Yeah, exactly. What did Fremo tell you? You're going to take over the entire country.
Yeah.
He said
like, hey, Phoenix, I need you to go to this peace talk over in China.
He told you that we bomb who? Were you guys at a bar when you talked about this? Yeah.
Putin wants to surrender. Jump on the plane. Are you sure? Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
He's waiting on you.
We get Putin so hammered that we get him on like a plane or something, and then we'd have a parachute on and be like, "I'm out, brother." Oh, it was crazy up there. There was some sort of hijacker, and it was crazy. Like that would happen repeatedly with all the bad people in the world. What happened to this guy?
We were up there. We were sitting down.
partying.
Things were going good, and all of a sudden, these crazies that wanted to get Freemo for something he said back in 2016 showed up on the plane. It was insane.
Oh my God, that was so fucking happen. We'd be the best president and VP ever. I don't care what fucking combination it was. You would have no secrets. We know exactly what Skinwalker Ranch was like. We know Area 51 would be cleared out. Of course, they'd probably dismantle it all, but trust me, we know where all the other stuff was.
You want to talk about government operating in the sunlight, man? We would expose it all.
Yes, we would. Oh my God. Hey, you know what we use for an excuse?
It's science.
Because legitimately, we'd have to know some of that shit. And for those that are listening, maybe for the first time, because we get a lot of listeners since you've been going, but I can honestly say that if you don't believe in what we're saying, think about this. And this is what the best way that Fremont and I can structure this. Two things. Number one is that remember that some of the stuff that you're looking at in ancient culture or ancient whatever, that stuff can't be built today without extreme knowledge, understanding, and sophistication and technology. It just can't be replicated.
We still can't duplicate Roman concrete.
Roman fire, we can't duplicate that. Sacsayhuama, there's so many things. And the other thing, which I think is really more important, and I completely forgot where I was going with that. Fuck. See, I told you this would happen eventually. But anyway, yeah. So we believe in a lot of different things, and you have to kind of follow this show. And now that Fremo's back, especially, is the little decomposing of things. You know, things aren't exactly what you think.
No, they are not.
And
you know, it's been at least 15 years since I said, as long as they maintain my illusion of privacy and freedom, I would leave them alone.
Yeah.
Well, the government is seriously infringing on that at this point in time.
They are, and you know, for me and Fremont are sitting there saying we're going to take to the streets and have guns and all that shit. We're saying that you need to look at places, hold people accountable. This is what the offices are for. Use that technology. Use that. Call your local congressman. We've said it a billion times in the past 25 years. We've said that. Just call your congressman. Talk to these people. Run for office if you feel so apt. You know, make that change. Be the change you want to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi said that. That motherfucker wasn't always a little dude with a white diaper on that was walking around trying to spit out peace. The dude was a bad man early in his life, and he was converted. And he realized these things.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, I'm not saying take over the government and storm the Capitol. Fremont and I are not saying that. We're saying that you voted for Biden because you didn't want to vote for Trump. That doesn't make him the best candidate. You know, Fremont and I have spent many elections not voting because the lesser of two evils is still voting for evil. You can't do that. You have to speak up. If they look at the polling numbers, they go, a third of the people voted. That speaks way more than going 51%. And that's what they do. See, they don't want to tell you the numbers of the people that have voted compared to the number of people that are available to vote. They want to tell you, 51% of the voters.
Right.
That's what Fremont and I do on the show, is we open your eyes to other ideas. That's why we don't cover the politics. We'll do it in For What It's Worth or in Sotopia Null, and we'll break shit down for you. But for the most part, I mean, I got people I know that are really into the Alex Jones and conspiracy stuff, and that's great. and that might be legit. Legit. That might be real. I'm not interested in that because that's something. Freemo and I've been to the underbelly of the internet. We've been to those parts of the web that you don't want to go to, and nor should you. And we're telling you, don't go there.
Yeah.
2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah, that's probably the most famous example of dark web that made it into the mainstream.
Don't watch it. We're telling you now, and you might turn around and go, I'm going to watch it. Don't watch it. It's just, it's a bad idea. And we're telling you that as experience. So if you find us funny and you like what we're saying, then do what we're asking you to do. Trust us when we say, don't watch that. And there's a shit ton of other shit that we could say, but we legit don't want to because you might go there.
Yeah.
And it needs to disappear from the internet totally. Because it's just, does that exist? Yeah. Should we watch it? No. We shouldn't give it any legs at all. Because when they start getting views, they want to do it again. You know, it's the same thing that happened on bgfgonline.com. Plug. It's the same thing that happened. We posted a video on a diatribe of how cable systems work and how internet works with that Freemo and I know a length about, could speak for days on it. That did not get as much traffic as a cat fucking video I posted. A fucking cat video. Funny. Cats don't make the jump to the bureau. Hilarious. But
we still have a few sheeple to wake up, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. But if you have nothing else free, that's going to be it for this week.
Glad to be back, man. Glad to be back. Glad to have everything set up and running again.
It's going to be great. You can catch Freemo on BGFG Online, myself included, and going on in the future, you'll be able to find Freemo and I together or separate, playing on stick style. Just, it's the way to be, man. It's the way to be for changing the name.
We've peaked.
Generation X, we've peaked. That's it
I
right
hope
there.
that ain't true.
That's
though.
it right there, dude.
I hope we
Dude,
we actually smash it and knock it out of the park.
It's Generation X, we've peaked. I can't. That's the full name. We can't use it, but we've peaked is what we'll probably end up using for advertising purposes. But the full name of the show will be
Generation X. We've peaked.
Oh, that's fucking great. All right. So that's it for this week. And after a long time, and I'm looking fucking forward to hearing this that's it for this week's 10 Down show's over. I didn't get it. Wait. Why didn't it fucking play? You're not muted. That's it for this week. 10 Down show's over.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
So you can find more of this garbage at bgfgonline.com. You can also send us an email with your questions or suggestions at bgfgshow@gmail.com. Find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Overcast, Podcast, Castro, Castbox, Podchaser, and YouTube. Thank you for listening.
That was awesome.